Blake, I'm pretty hungry right now. So would it be alright for me to order delivery?
You want to order more delivery? Recently, I feel like you've been doing that a bit too much.
I have no other options right now. My belly is huge right now, and I can't move because of it.
I'm sure that's true, but, well, there are plenty of things to heat up and eat already there. I'd like for you to start finishing off some of that food first.
I told you, I can't cook right now.
And all I'm asking is for you to put some of the frozen meals that we have in our fridge into our microwave. So just a couple of minutes and you'll be able to eat it.
I'm not in the mood to eat stuff like that right now. Right now, I just want to have some fried chicken. Besides that, I don't want anything else because my body doesn't need it right now. I'm sorry that this is what my body is asking for, but we have to take care of it, or else the baby might not turn out healthy, right?
Alright, go ahead and order some then.
Yay! Sorry about that. You did a lot of work getting all that food for me.
It's whatever. I care much more about how you're feeling than about how the food in the freezer's doing anyway.
Thank you. I'll make sure to start eating more of that stuff when I'm able to. Ah, another thing. After you finish work and are on your way home, can you grab the packages at the front for me?
Did you order something?
There are some creams that are really good for taking care of stretch marks after pregnancy. So that should all be in the mail for me.
Huh? Didn't you order some of that before, though?
About that, I ended up receiving the wrong item in the mail. Something for the flu came even though I ordered those creams. But don't worry, this time I made sure that what I ordered was correct and will be in the packages.
I see. Let's hope that's true. But I'm still wondering if things like that really work at taking away those marks. You might still have fewer after giving birth.
Stop that, Blake. If I end up having any stretch marks on me at all, I'm going to be upset. I want my body and mind to stay the same even after having kids, and that's what this cream is going to do for me.
Sorry, but in my eyes, even if you do have some marks afterwards, you'll still be the perfect wife that I always asked for.
Well, even if you think I'm perfect.
Well, there's nobody else that you're trying to impress besides myself, right?
This is more about how I think of myself. Ah, once you get home today, can you make sure to take care of the laundry? And also clean the bathtub as well? I want to take a nice and long bath tonight, so make sure it's ready for me.
Sounds good. Then I'll do my best to make it home from work early today.
Thank you. Once I've eaten, I'm going to go and take a nap, alright? Good luck with work. Hey, are the presents coming from your mom only going to be money?
That's what I'm thinking. Why do you ask?
Once I'd given birth to Abby, your mom came and left her gift for me in the hospital while I was sleeping, right? Just that one time? Why didn't she wait for me to wake up and see her? Did she not want to see me?
I wonder. Well, you had just given birth and all that, so you were very tired and needed time to sleep. I'm sure she just came and let you sleep in order for you to continue having good rest.
That's not what I think, though. I mean, when your little brother was having his kid, she went to the hospital and helped out with the baby and all that for his wife, right?
That's because his wife doesn't have any parents around anymore, and she asked for my mom to come and help her out after giving birth.
Well, my parents are divorced and living in completely different houses now, right? Does she not want to come and help me now?
Had you asked her before helping Abby, then she would be helping you out for sure now.
Well, I wanted her to come and help me without having to ask. I think your mom is picking on me a little.
I don't think that's a good way to think about it. I think my mom cares about you a lot, but she can't read minds like you're asking for right now. Another thing, Anne. Didn't you say that right after you had the baby you didn't want my mom to get involved that much? Yet now you're asking for my mom to be around and to support you and whatnot?
Well, if she was going to come and drop off that money, then she would have stuck around and helped out, right? She could have even gone out and started to buy things for the baby with that money. It's obvious that your mom favors your brother and his family more than us, right? She loves their baby way more than ours. I bet it's because their baby ended up being a boy, and she knows that he'll be able to continue the family for her.
I don't think that's what she's thinking about, Anne. It's not like my mom really cares about the carrying on the family name or anything like that. We don't even have a family business or anything like that would be normally need to be looked after in the future. We're just your basic family, you know?
Well, that's not what I think. I didn't even get a lot in terms of presents or money for having our baby anyway. I was given more money by my coworkers from that company I was working for. Randy?
She was one of your best friends there, huh? But I'm sure that you should be worried about the money that you're getting right now. It's all about the fact that you're given any gifts by friends and family in the first place.
And I'm telling you right now that she probably didn't even want to give me this money. I went through all that trouble to have Abby as well, yet your mom doesn't have any thanks for me at all. Normally, she should be celebrating all this. I know she doesn't like that we had a girl.
I think you're really starting to overthink things here.
I'm starting to regret having this baby now.
Don't say things like that, please. You didn't just have Abby to get gifts and presents and money, right? How about this? The next time that I have a day off, I'll stay home and I'll take care of Abby all day so that you can go and enjoy yourself. So then you can have a chance to relax and refresh. Of course, that's all depending on if you really want to or not.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Then, this weekend I'm going to take some time to relax. I'll go to the hair salon and then go out shopping for some clothing. I'll even go out with my friends to eat.
Alright, have a good time, please. Also, if we happen to need my mom to come over and help us at all, I can let her know that. Do you want me to ask her right now if sometimes she can come over and watch Abby for us?
Yes, please ask her that. Forget that. There's a stroller that I really want, so I'll go and ask her for that instead.
Why not just use that money that she gave you to buy it?
Buying something like that with the money would make all of it go to waste. I would like to save this money I was given for a little while. I would rather ask her to buy it for me. If she agrees to that, then we'll be lucky.
I'm sure you want something like that, but you were already given money from her.
It's fine. I'm just going to ask her this once about it. Wouldn't want to create any further issues. Anyway, this coming Saturday and Sunday I'm going to make plans for myself.
Okay. I hope you understand how thankful I am to have you, and that you gave birth to our beautiful little girl. I hope that you use those days to really spread your wings, you know?
Blake, listen. Your mom, she's really mean.
What happened?
I asked her if she'd take care of Abby for me, and do you know what she told me? She told me not to bring our kid over to her house.
What? Really?
Yeah, I knew she didn't care about Abby. You can already tell that your mom would rather take care of your brother's baby over ours.
I'm sorry about what my mom said, but I'm kind of wondering why she would say something like that. I never thought of her as the kind of person who would favor one grandchild over the other like that.
And that's what I'd like to know. I understand that her and I haven't really done a whole lot together, but there's never been any problems between us, right? Everything's been normal for us. And even if she did have something against me, that shouldn't carry over to our daughter. She has nothing to do with me.
That's right. I'm really sorry about this. I'll go ask my mom about it. At first I didn't think that anything was really going on, but ever since I started to question there being a difference between the attention my mom gives my brother's family and ours, I've started to notice that something was up.
I'm tired of this. I did not have Abby in order to be treated like some unwanted child by your mom. What did Abby ever do to deserve any of this? I'm starting to think that both of your parents have something wrong with them.
I think my mom telling you not to bring Abby over to her place was not okay.
Go and talk with your mom right now about this. I do not want you to let her get away with acting like that towards us. I have become so upset by all this that I just want to sit down and cry.
Understood. Just let me handle her from now on, okay? Mom, can I talk with you right now? I've got something pretty important to ask, actually.
This is perfect timing. I have something to talk with you about as well, and I was just about to text you. It's about your wife, Anne.
That's who I wanted to talk to you about. Also, well, about her and about Abby as well. Why are you being so cold towards my wife and child?
Well, I have no other choice right now.
What the heck does that mean? What do you mean you have no other choice? You've done so much for Jack's baby, right? So why are you ignoring what my baby and my wife are asking for?
And the reason for that is something I'll share when you come over to my house. Can you please come back here and see me? I want to keep this a secret from Anne.
Even if you have a reason for all this, I'm still shocked that you've been acting this way. I never thought that you would pick to favor one of your grandkids over the others like this. You've already gone and hurt my wife now, so I'm thinking of cutting ties with you.
You calm down and come talk to me at this house right now. If you cut ties to me now, then you're going to have hell to pay later on.
I'm doing this because you're hurting my family. Why aren't you happy to support my wife and the baby?
Because I feel bad for you. I don't want to take care of that horrible woman's baby for you.
You are the worst person I have ever known. What the heck happened to you?
Blake, I understand that you want to be mad at me right now, but there is a really good reason behind why I've called her horrible, and I do not want to take care of her daughter.
Who cares about what reason you have for all this? Calling my wife a horrible woman and saying that you won't care for our baby like that? I didn't think that you would turn into such a toxic mother. I hate that I had to learn all this about you.
That is not your baby.
Huh? What are you saying?
Abby is not your baby, Blake. That's what I'm saying.
There's no way. Are you trying to tell me that Anne cheated on me?
That's right.
You have to be kidding me. Even if you don't like the person that she is, you can't say things like that about her.
Until recently, I never thought about anything wrong of your wife, okay? I do feel bad for just calling her a horrible woman in front of you, but I am not lying about what I've just told you.
Why are you talking about her like that?
Please, just come to the house for me. I'm sure that right now you won't be able to trust me, so we have to talk about this in person. I have to show you the proof I have of her cheating on you.
Blake, can you make sure to get home early today? Because of you staying over at your parents' place last night like that, I've had a tough time here. Can't you just ask your boss to let you go home early? I'm tired as hell right now and really want to take some time to sleep.
Anne, I'm sorry, but I won't be coming home for a little while.
Huh? You just going to leave me here to fend for myself then? I have no idea why you do that to me. Abby isn't just my baby, but your baby as well, right? Why are you talking like you have no responsibility for her?
I'd like to take some time to think things over for myself.
Why do you need time to think things over yourself?
I want to think about how things between you and I will go.
What are you talking about?
Abby, she's not my baby, right?
Huh? You're awful. So this is the kind of man you're going to be now? Or have you always been that way? Did you let your mom get to you? Did your mom go and brainwash you while you've been over there?
I know about everything now, that's all.
What do you mean you know about everything?
About how when you and I started going out with one another, you had another man that you were cheating on me with.
What are you talking about? Why would I cheat on you?
Because you had another man.
How are you able to say something as horrible as that to me?
Because I have the evidence. Right after you and I had decided to get married, my mom saw you out in public. She saw you with a businessman who seemed to be older than myself.
What?
And my mom said she felt as though the aura you guys were giving off was somewhat like that of a couple who were more than just friends. And what makes this all a bit more weird is that this same man ended up coming to our wedding as well. Your coworker from your previous job, right, Randy? My mom wasn't all too worried at the time, thinking that you could have just had a one-time thing with him. But then came the announcement that you were pregnant, and that made my mom a little worried.
What the? She thinks that just because I was with Randy, I've been going out with him behind your back? Your mom is messed up for thinking things like that. She's saying things like that because she doesn't like me.
That's not all, though. She could tell that there was more to you based on how you acted around each other.
There is nothing going on between him and I. There never was. The only reason she saw us that one time is because we ran into one another and decided to get coffee together.
My mom had a DNA test taken. Remember there was that one time when she came over to our house, right? She went and got some DNA from Abby then.
What?
She told me that Abby had been tested as both mine and yours. Then she would have forgotten all about the time that she saw you with Randy. But because the results came back saying Abby wasn't mine, she had to let me know everything. She wanted to make sure that I was aware of what had happened.
There has to be some kind of mistake, right?
Then would you like to do the DNA test one more time?
No, wait. There's no way Abby is Randy's.
But just the other day, while I spent 2 days taking care of Abby for you, you went out with Randy, right?
No, I did not.
You can just give it up already. My mom went and found herself an investigator, and they went and collected a lot of evidence between you two together. You'd told my mom about how you'd been taking 2 days off in order to get some rest and go out, right? Well, that made my mom even more concerned, and she had to find out what you were really up to.
What a witch. There has to be something wrong with her for doing something like that. Your parents, the both of them are completely screwed in the head, right?
Both my parents were wanting to tell me about this a lot sooner, but they didn't know how to go about telling me all that. They knew I was so happy to have you and a baby. But they had to tell me at some point, and after all I've heard about you, I'm shocked. I'd like to take some time to calm down and think.
Hey, Blake, this is all wrong. When I was with Randy, we just went out for a few drinks, and things happened between us. But it was only one time.
And you think that cheating on me for one night wasn't bad? And in that one night of you two sleeping together that he couldn't have possibly gotten you pregnant, that's not all you should be telling me anyway. If that was just a one-time thing, then why were you with him on Saturday and Sunday? You both went to a hotel that time as well, right?
I couldn't say no to him. He threatened me. He told me that if I stopped seeing him, he'd tell you everything.
If that's what happened, then it's considered rape and we need to go to the police about it. He committed a very serious crime and needs to be dealt with right now.
Wait, the police? I don't want to. They're going to ask me all sorts of questions, right?
Well, if you were being raped and you want to be forgiven by me, then you wouldn't mind having the police question you, right?
Don't say something like that. You have no idea how I'm feeling about all of this, right? I do not want to bring this to the police.
Then that means that you were cheating on me, and you come clean about that. I think this is what you deserve, Anne.
Please, Blake, don't start talking about leaving me. I gave birth to Abby because I thought she was your baby.
And I thought she was mine as well.
Then let's continue to raise her as if she was our own. Are you trying to tell me that you don't think of her as your own because she's not related to you by blood? Have you not been in love with her? You were so happy for me when I was pregnant, right?
You really have the right to ask things like that. I was left believing that the kid was all mine, and that she would be a part of you and me, yet she's another man's baby. I gave so much of my time and energy raising another man's child that I got out of work because my wife never wanted to tell me the truth. I would even have nights where I would only get 1 or 2 hours of sleep for another man's baby. I was a freaking idiot for wasting all my time and energy thinking that I actually cared about how you were doing then.
Blake, I'm sorry.
You're not going to be able to apologize your way out of this. You've known from the start that Abby has been your coworker's child, right?
I didn't know at the time.
Would you stop lying to me already? When you went to meet with him the other day, there were audio recordings of you telling him that his child is really cute, and you spoke with him about how I'm nothing more than just an ATM to you.
You're wrong. I was just talking like that because of the conversation we were having.
Nah, I tried thinking about how we could still make things work, but excuses like that just show that there's nothing between us anymore.
Hold on a second. Blake, I'm sorry. I'll apologize for all of this. I'm sorry. Don't throw Abby and I away.
You were always the one that threw me away first, so consider this just me being carried away by the wind like you left me to. I'm finding someone more fitting for me. You can go right back to Randy now.
I thought that you and I would be happy together. That's why I married you.
And you were the one that ruined any chance of happiness between us. I get that you wanted to label my family as being messed up and all that, but the only person that's truly screwed up is you. After that, I had my wife's parents come and talk with my parents as well as myself and her. We had talked about and thought about a lot of options, but in the end, the only one I was comfortable with choosing was to not go back to Anne. After that, we had also went and had a talk with Anne's previous coworker, Randy, and he admitted to both going out with her while she was married to me and that Abby was his daughter. Randy happens to also be married and have a child with his wife too. He never ended up getting a divorce from his wife though, but he did have to pay me a very large settlement, and he would have to pay child support to Anne for Abby. After all that, I divorced Anne, and then she was in so much shock that she ran home with Abby to her parents' house looking for help. Although she was allowed to stay there at first, she never bothered to care for Abby, and the both of them ended up getting kicked out from her parents' house. From there, she was picked up by the police while sitting on the side of the road with Abby, and she was taken to a mental hospital and was undergoing treatments there. This then led to Abby being taken back to her parents, where they agreed to take care of her until Anne was released from the hospital. I had thought very hard about whether I should be the one to take Abby and raise her by my own after all this, but Abby looked too much like her mother, and after seeing all the evidence of Anne with Randy, I just couldn't let that all get back to me, and I refused to take Abby back. It's been a few years now since all this went down, and right now Abby's going to her first year of elementary school. Abby doesn't seem to be all too much affected by what her mother had done to her, but I'm sure as she gets older, she'll start to wonder whatever happened to her father, and why she's living with her mother's parents all the time. I myself have no plans of ever going to meet with Abby, but I'll every once in a while think about her and how things have been going for her. This has led me to talk with Anne's parents sometimes, just to catch up with them on how things have been. This is the most recent time though, and they sent me a picture of what Abby looks like now, and it was the first time in a while that I cried. It's been so long since the last time I saw her, and I have to say that without a doubt, she looks nothing like me. But even still, I wanted to do something to let Abby know there was someone else out there thinking about her. So I got in touch with someone who was taking down an old playground, and they had sent Anne's parents a slide from there so Abby could enjoy herself even more. I understood that I probably shouldn't really do anything like that, but Abby doesn't really have any parents of her own around, so this was something that I felt responsible for. I really hope that she knows that no matter how long she has to live without her actual parents around her, there is one man who cares about her and how she's doing. I have a lot of things I'm thinking about right now regarding my own future and family. I just hope that when it comes time to start finding someone new and start a brand new family, I don't forget about how Abby's doing. Of course though, she's not a part of my family, nor is she even a friend of mine, so I can't blame myself for someday leaving the past behind and focusing on my own life. I still have a long life ahead of me, and if someday when I do have my own family of my own, a wife of my own, kids of my own, or I run into Abby, I want her to know that the man who took care of her for only a month or so was able to make it out of a horrible thing. And of course I hope the same for her, as she continues to grow up and someday learn the hard reality of what her mother and father did to her and to me. She shouldn't care about any of that, and she should be able to find a life of her own, with the help of both her grandparents as they continue to show her the most support. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to write a comment about what you thought about the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next one.
Nadia, what time are you going to be back today? I'm really hungry right now. It's going to be some time still before I can get home. I only just got to the park with Kiki just a second ago. And for lunch, I made sure that you had mac and cheese, right?
Well, that small bowl wasn't enough for me.
Well, I think there's some ramen noodles in the cupboard you can make up, so there you go. Make that up and you should be good until dinner.
I'm not feeling ramen noodles right now, though. Come back here and make something for me.
And like I said, it'll be some time before I can come home because we only just got here.
You guys can come back home to play. Today's my day off work, right? I get that I ask you to take care of Kiki quite a lot, but right now, you're not home to care for me.
And wasn't it you that said no to me when I asked if you wanted to come along? I can't come home right now, Edward, so just deal with it. And once Kiki is all worn out here, we're going to stop by the supermarket to pick up some things for dinner tonight.
The supermarket? Why do you have to go there? Didn't you go shopping yesterday?
Well, I forgot a few things, and we need to get more bread, so there's also that. I also want to get some more snacks for Kiki to take to school with her. She loves them.
Jesus. Stop wasting my money on snacks for her. It's not your money to just spend on whatever you'd like, right?
But if I don't have these snacks for her, she'll get upset and never get over it for days.
Once she realizes her stomach is rumbling and she needs to eat, she'll eat whatever's in front of her. I think you're spoiling that girl a little too much right now. Also, just recently, you bought some new clothes for her as well, right?
I wanted to get her one more long-sleeve shirt before it starts to get cold out again.
She still has plenty of clothing she can wear, though. Stop wasting my money on things we don't need.
I understand that she has other clothes, but she's a growing girl and no longer fits into a lot of them. Also, I got the shirt for her during a sale, so it was only $7.
And with $7, you can buy me a pretty decent lunch from that burger joint down the road.
Well, unlike that meal, she'll be able to use this shirt more than just one time. And it's not like it was that expensive. So I really don't feel that I'm wasting any money on things.
Listen, Nadia, who is the one having to work every day for all of that money? I do not want to sit here hearing about how you go around using up all my money like that, so stop it.
I am just buying the things the family needs, all right?
And from my point of view, it looks like you're wasting all my money. Like you said, she's still growing, which means that very soon, she will no longer be able to wear the shirts as well. Next time, buy her a shirt 2 or 3 times her size and have her wear that.
If I buy her clothes that big, then she'll look like she's wearing drapes and might even slip on it. You don't want our daughter to get hurt, right? And if you want me to start buying the cheapest clothing for her, it's more than likely going to go bad sooner. Then she'll only get a couple uses out of it before a hole forms.
When I was a kid, I had to wear all of the hand-me-downs from my older brothers. Did you know that?
And clothing today isn't as well made as they were back in the day. Also, I'm sure not every single thing you wore was a hand-me-down. Your mom was probably just giving you what she thought you'd wear and still bought you the things you needed.
Ugh, you're getting really annoying right now. Just come home already, Nadia. I am hungry and it's starting to make me upset.
You're already upset, though.
Just shut up and come home already. I want something to eat. You and that child are the only ones living off the money I make. So stop talking back to me and do what I say.
Aren't you starting to step out of line a little there?
You have another 10 minutes to get yourself back home. If you're not back in that time, I'm going to throw out all of Kiki's toys.
Why the heck would you do something like that? First of all, she has nothing to do with this. And second of all, weren't you just the one talking now about wasting money?
Well, if you tell her toys will be thrown away, then she'll probably want to come home and stop me. So tell her, and you both can come home in under 10 minutes. So, what will it be?
All right, fine. We're coming home right now, so don't do anything to her toys.
You should have been saying that from the start. Then I wouldn't have had to say all of that crap. Well, since you understand me now, that's all that matters. Hurry it up and get your butt home.
Edward, do you have a second to talk?
What is it?
I've come to the bank to get some money out of the account for this month, but there's barely anything in here. Did you make a mistake and put that money into a different account?
Nope. That sounds about right to me.
What? What do you mean by that?
I've started to become a little bit concerned about how you've been using that money. So I made sure you didn't have much for this month. Now you won't be able to waste my money anymore, right?
Wait a second. I can't make things work on this little of money this month.
You haven't even tried making it through the month with that much, so stop whining.
But normally I've always been pretty close to having nothing by the end of the month, right? I've had to cut it close so many times now because you never gave me that much. But now there's for sure no way I can make things work this month with this little. You understand that, right?
And the reason why you always have to cut it close every month is because you've been wasting all of my money.
I have not been wasting any of your money, Edward. Take a look at all the receipts I have from those months before. I have only ever been able to buy the things we need. And you'll realize that after looking at the receipts. And all of that while not even spending a dime on myself. I haven't even been able to buy new clothing for myself this year, so tell me how I'm wasting your money.
I feel like you're spending too much on Kiki. Even the cost of the preschool she's going to is too high. Do you not want to try saving a little bit more money each month?
I have been saving lots of money, though.
And I'm telling you, your way of saving is a joke. Do you need to be taught how to save? Go online and find a blog that'll teach you about what to do. There are a ton of them. There's some saying that a family of 3 can even live off $1,500 a month.
I'm not sure that's true. And if it is, the person that wrote that might be from another country or live outside the city. And they might also have their own place and don't have to rent it like us. They might even have people that give them money as well. Like their parents, for example. So don't use whatever blog you read that said that as your only piece of information.
Stop it! With all of these stupid excuses.
I am not making any excuses. I am telling you that in our situation, it is impossible to make things work with that small of an amount of money. I also want to know what you're planning to do with the money you cut from me this month. Are you going to put that into the savings account? Don't tell me that you're keeping that money to use on yourself.
It's all my money anyways, so how I use it has nothing to do with you.
Do not start making things worse for Kiki and I, all so that you can have more money to yourself. I've noticed that recently you've been going out drinking quite often. So before you start telling me that I'm the one wasting money, watch where you're placing your money first.
Huh? What are you talking about? You have really become such a smartass recently. I am the one that's been spending every day of their life sweating in order to make us money. Why can't I have a little more money to myself in order to be happy?
If you're going to say something like that, then the same goes for me, right? I have to spend every day doing all the cleaning and cooking while also caring for a little girl. I don't even get days off like you do.
Don't you dare compare me to a housewife like yourself that gets to spend every day in the house. Don't you even compare yourself to me again. The next time you talk back to me like that, it's a divorce.
Why would you do that? Edward, what's happened to you? Within the past year, you've gotten a lot more troubled with money.
I'm getting tired of seeing you wasting all that money. That's all.
And I've been doing my best to use the money on things we only need, and the rest I've been saving.
I told you not to talk back to me like that! Are you trying to get yourself divorced?
Edward, calm down and think all of this through.
I am calm right now! Now for the time being, you make it work with that money I've given you. When things become too difficult for you, then I'll think about giving you more.
Edward, what are you trying to do? You just took my wallet away from me, didn't you?
Well, if you keep your wallet, then you'd go to the hospital, right?
Of course I would. Kiki has a bad fever right now and needs to see a doctor about it.
Give her some medicine and put her to sleep.
She has a fever of 104 degrees right now.
And I'm sure if you take her to the hospital, all they'll do is give her the exact same medicine, right? There is no reason to take her there. Stop trying to waste my money.
This is not me wasting your money anymore. Right now, Kiki is not doing okay and is feeling terrible.
Then tell me, how much is it going to cost to take her to the hospital?
It's not going to cost you anything.
Huh? So you're telling me they'll just help her for free?
That's right. We happen to have a good enough insurance for her, allowing children her age to be checked on for free. So give me my wallet back so I can get the insurance card and everything.
Not happening. I just made it into work.
But there is nothing at the house right now, and I can't come and get my wallet from you because you also took the keys to the second car. You need to come home, please.
I don't care. There is medicine at home for her, so just have her take that and put her to bed. By the way, someone still has to pay those doctors and nurses to take care of Kiki. I'm not going to let you waste the money of this country's taxpayers on her.
Are you kidding me, Edward?
You are being so annoying about a simple fever. If you're really that worried about it, then you should shut up and take care of her.
You don't seem to be worried about Kiki at all.
Because you're making too big of a deal out of it. She has only had a fever for a little bit, and you're already throwing a fit about how she might die or something over it. Just shut up. How many years have you been a mother now, Nadia?
I have been a mother long enough to know that I should be worried about her. Whatever. I'm not going to ask for anything else from you.
Oh, are you sure it's okay to say something like that to me? Have you forgotten about how just the other day I filled out that divorce paper? When I get home today, I might pick those papers up and take them to the courthouse.
Go ahead. Actually, don't worry about it. I'll take them to the courthouse right now.
I told you, didn't I, that I will really divorce you.
And that's why I'm agreeing with you on that now. And once I've handed these papers in, you'd better not regret it.
I'd never. But let's be real. I already know that a housewife like yourself would never be able to divorce me. You can't just take care of that girl all by yourself, right? I want you to start practicing the ways you'll apologize to me when I get home, okay? I know you're going to be the one apologizing to me today for all of this. So start getting ready for me now.
Edward, when you get home, please text me.
I just got home, actually. Hey, where are you and the brat?
You sure came home pretty quick today. Normally you'd be going out for drinks now.
So where the hell are you guys? Why aren't you home? Don't tell me you actually took Kiki to the hospital. I told you to just shut the brat up and put her to sleep.
She's not yours to worry about anymore. Not that you worried about her in the first place.
Huh?
I handed in those divorce papers today, and I now have full custody of Kiki.
You handed in those papers? Are you trying to piss me off?
Not at all. You were the one that said you were fine with a divorce, right?
And that should make you shut the hell up and listen to me!
But this morning I said I'd be handing in those papers, right? And you said it yourself that when you got home from work, you'd hand them in as well, right?
I won't allow this. Go and tell those idiots at the courthouse to shred the papers!
Not going to happen. They already processed them. I wasn't able to get all my things out of your house today, so tomorrow I'll be coming with my parents to get the rest. I'll hand you the key to your house as well then, as long as you give me my wallet back.
Nadia, hold on. Calm down for a sec.
I am calm. I have been calm this whole time while putting up with your selfish behavior. But I did have a moment today where I couldn't stay calm because my little girl was in pain and you wouldn't dare do anything to help her. That's when I realized things were really over between you and I. Having to continue living with a man like you would never lead to a happy life for Kiki.
Hey, look, I was just concerned with how much it would cost to have her go to the hospital.
Well, even if you are concerned about that, you do not steal my wallet from me. And had you felt that you'd made a mistake by doing that, you should have brought it right back to me, right?
But I couldn't just leave work.
But you were the one that stole it from me, right? Luckily, I was able to find a way to get Kiki to the hospital today. And the doctor told me that she had a really bad case of the flu and was dehydrated. He said that had I put her to sleep like you asked me to, she would have started to experience organ failure and things would have gone from bad to worse. Since you seem to think something like that is totally acceptable, I decided it is time for me to divorce you. She and I will not be happy being around you anymore after today.
I was only doing all of that in order to get you to start saving a bit more money for me is all.
And I told you to take a goddamn look at the bills from the past few months to see how much I've been saving you. There was nothing else I could do to get you to believe me, so that's why things came to this. But you know what really pisses me off? The fact that you tell me to save more and more money while you've been going out pretty much every night to go drinking. I don't get it, Edward.
Men have things they need to do besides being around the house.
But they also have things they need to do at home. Are you trying to upset your daughter by never being around her? Because that's what it seems like when you're never home. The only reason I was getting her all those snacks for her lunches is because I told her they were from you. But when she started to see you getting upset about the snacks, she became confused. And the next time I tried buying them for her, she told me I'd upset you. I am not going to let my daughter be confused and upset by all of this anymore. She does not deserve to have to see her parents fight like this at such a young age.
Okay, I'll let you have your full amount of money back each month. That'll get you to shut up, right?
We are already getting divorced, Edward. You're aware of that, right? It's too late to offer things like that to me now.
I never actually wanted you and I to get a divorce.
You were threatening me, right?
Of course I was. You knew that, right? You're just a housewife after all. Did you actually think I meant for you to get that divorce? How are you going to take care of Kiki now?
When it's for the sake of keeping her happy and healthy, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll be living the life I need to with her while thinking about just how much you'll be regretting what you've done. I think this is going to be the turning point of my life where I can finally go back to being myself again and never have to put up with your crap anymore.
There is no way you can raise her all alone. Not as a woman. You just forced yourself down a path that'll make both you and Kiki live in poverty.
That's not going to happen to us. Both my mom and dad have already told me they will do everything they can to help keep us above water.
So now you have to rely on your parents again?
They said they'll do whatever I need for the sake of their granddaughter. I won't be asking them to take care of her for me or anything like that. I'm going to do everything a mother should do for their child.
I'm telling you right now that keeping me will lead to you and her having a much better future.
It will? How do you suppose that? The reason why I chose divorce is because there is no hope of a good future with you. All you seem to care about is saving money all the time, and you never dared let your wife and daughter have a little bit of fun during that. What you did to us showed me clearly how you feel about the both of us. Goodbye forever, Edward.
Wait, I'm not done talking!
There is nothing else we need to be talking about, though. Are you wanting to talk about the money I'll be getting from you and how you're going to pay child support? Well, if that's the case, then you can talk to my lawyer about all of that really soon.
No! How the hell are you accepting this divorce so easily? I have been working for so long for both our sakes, right?
Was that really for us? I'm sure it's better that we're both out of your life, right? Now you'll finally be able to use all your money on yourself.
Come on! The only reason I became so stingy about my money is because I have a dream. I've been wanting to make us a new house.
You don't have to lie to me, okay? I had a look at the bank accounts already. All of them. And from what I saw, you've barely been saving any of your money. But what I did see was that you rack up quite some large tabs when you go out drinking. I've also learned that you and that woman you really like love to spend money as well.
That's not my money. You have it all wrong.
Please don't give me any more excuses. You'll only make me feel even more sick to my stomach.
Nadia, I'm sorry. I just assumed you'd be able to save more money. I apologize for pushing you too hard about it.
You should not be apologizing to me for only that. What about all those threats you made to me? And what about stealing my wallet from me and almost forcing my daughter to not make it to the hospital? Honestly, I'm not even forgiving you for any of that, so forget the apologies.
I apologize for all that, though. That woman I've been going out to drink with is nobody. I've just been going with her to some bars to relieve some of my stress from work.
The fact that you are using that as your reason for abandoning your daughter and I is only pissing me off even more now. You have been threatening your housewife all because you want to be out with another woman? You couldn't even worry about your own daughter because you were thinking too much about that woman. Stop trying to get me to feel anything for you now. It's over, Edward. The only path forward now is you and I getting this divorce.
I really messed up, okay?
You had such a good time acting like you could threaten me with divorce, yet now that you're faced with it, you're going to start freaking out? Right now, I'm feeling the complete opposite of you. I'm feeling refreshed. Like I've just gotten a breath of some really clean air for once. And the reason for that is because I will never, ever regret leaving you. From there, Edward continued to send me texts telling me how sorry he was for everything, but I was so tired of seeing him that I just muted his notifications and told the lawyer to deal with him now. I went and told his parents about why we got this divorce, and they ended up just as upset as myself with Edward, and told me that they would help support their granddaughter just like my parents. After realizing that he had just lost all of his family, Edward was in shock. And his days of constantly going out drinking with that one chick were finally over. Another thing that's happened is that I've gone and told Edward that he can't see Kiki anymore, but every month he will send her a present in the mail. But seeing these gifts from him coming in only makes my parents and I even more upset about him. Had he just done something like that while we were all still a family, then there would never have been a reason for a divorce, and everyone could have been happy. But since he chose to hurt myself and my daughter, the only future I want for him now is one full of regrets. When it comes to myself and my daughter, by the way, we moved back to my parents' house for good after the divorce and have been living the life there. Nobody here yells at me about how I need to save even more money and can't care for my daughter, which is a major plus. When he had yelled at me all the time like that, he really scared Kiki, so it's a great thing I got that divorce with him now instead of never. I had thought as a housewife I just had to put up with his horrible behavior, since he was the one making the money, but my thoughts on that changed the day he showed me he didn't even care about Kiki. From now on, in order to make sure that my daughter gets to live a normal life without the stress of an abusive father, I'm going to be working extra hard and supporting her with my income. I'm sure that for a little while I'll have to trouble people with helping me support my daughter, but once I've got a proper foothold again, I'll make sure that I'm the one in charge of making my daughter's life great again. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Hey Dan, are you there? I was just wondering if you were still going to come home early like you said you were? I mean, have you even left the office yet? I'm just curious about when you're going to be home.
Oh, shoot, yeah. I actually ended up having to do a bit of overtime, so I'm still at the office right now.
Well, I wish that you would have told me about that sooner. I mean, I already made dinner thinking that we were all going to be eating together.
Well, I'm sorry, but I just didn't have any time to say anything. I've been busy all day.
Okay, then. What do you want me to do with the food that I made tonight, then? Are you going to eat it when you get back home from the office, at least?
No, I don't think so. I'm just gonna buy something on the way home, or maybe just eat here at my desk.
Okay, then. That's fine, I guess. I'll just put it away, and you can take it for your breakfast tomorrow, then.
Hold on a second. You mean that you're gonna try to make me leftovers for breakfast? You know that I always have the same breakfast every day!
Okay, well, that's fine too, I guess. How about I eat it? Does that work for you? I just suggested it because I tried to make one of your favorites for dinner tonight. I made some beef stew.
Oh, please, don't pretend like you actually know what I like and what I don't like. I hate beef stew!
And since when did you decide this? I remember when we got married, you told me you loved it.
Okay, but I wasn't actually saying that I like it or anything. I was only saying that out of all the things you made for me, it was the best.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I didn't realize that that's what you were saying. So then, does that mean that you don't like anything else that I cook for you?
That isn't what I said at all! All I'm saying is that what you're cooking is one of the worst ones I've had compared to others.
Well, this is all news to me. You've never said anything like this to me before.
Well, it's true, so there! What is even the point of this conversation?
I didn't realize that you've been eating my food this whole time, thinking that it wasn't even tasty.
You were really starting to annoy me with the way you're twisting my words, you know that? I ate the food, didn't I? I don't know what you want me to say. I think that was already pretty nice of me.
Well, sure, I guess, in a way. It's just that you've never ever talked about my food this way before.
At first, I didn't actually even notice it all that much, to be honest with you. But then I started noticing that as the guys in my office were getting married, their wives were packing them great lunches. And then I guess that's when I really started to notice that I wasn't the biggest fan of your cooking after all. But I don't really think it's a me problem. I think you're actually just not that good of a cook is all.
Well, you know that I try really hard in the kitchen every single day for you, right?
It's fine. It's not a big deal, really. Some people have things they're good at and things that they're not so good at. I think that, to be honest, you're just not all that good at doing things around the house, you know? But at least you can work, so that's good.
So then does that mean that you'll start to do the cooking from now on then?
Wait, what? What do you mean? Why in the world would any of that mean that I'm the one who would do the cooking?
Well, because like you said, we are both working, right? And yet I'm the one who's always doing everything at home. So maybe we could split the chores too. I could handle all the cleaning and you could do the cooking.
Look, I'm still at work, and you know how often they assign me overtime, right? You're the one that gets home consistently, so I think you should do the cooking.
I see. So then basically you're saying that I'm just going to continue having to do everything around the house? It's just that before we got married, we agreed that we were going to split the housework, right? I mean, you remember the conversation we had where you said you would be fine doing that, right? But nowadays, it just feels like I do all the work around the house.
Okay, well, you're making it sound like I'm the one piling it on you on purpose. Why do you always have to try to make me out to be the bad guy? Do you think that I want you to be feeling this way or something? The fact of the matter is that you just have more time on your hands than I do. So if you got home before me, I don't see the problem of asking you to do this stuff. What's wrong with the setup that we have now?
The problem with the setup is that I end up doing everything around the house and you do nothing. Even just last week when you were free, you just went out and spent time on your own.
I just have a lot of things going on. Why can't you be more understanding of that?
And you don't think that I have anything going on then?
I really don't think that I can do this right now. Can't we just have this conversation another time? I am literally stuck at work and I'm too busy to be doing this right now. I just told you that I'm working overtime and you're still bothering me with this.
Okay, fine. We can talk about this later, but I am trying to tell you that I get busy too. And I just wish that you would help just a little more around the house is all. You get that, right?
I just said that we're going to talk about this later. Why do you insist on dragging this out longer? You really have just become such a nag recently, and you know that? I mean, it's like you're trying to make me mad. And anyways, you talking to me like this doesn't make me want to help out around the house at all.
Hey, Dan, when did you leave the house? Where are you going? You didn't mention having any plans.
I had to leave the house because your cooking is just horrible. I'm going out to eat.
Dan, please don't be like this. You know that I work really hard with my cooking.
So you want me to just sit in silence and eat that horrible slop? You're practically serving steaming trash and somehow expecting me not to vomit.
Did you really just call my cooking trash? What has gotten into you?
Well, it's true, isn't it? Your cooking is absolute trash and it belongs in a dumpster, not on a kitchen table. I can't just sit here and pretend like I can eat that stuff anymore. I refuse to sit and force myself to swallow that slop that you served me.
Please, Dan, even if you don't like my cooking, there's no need for you to talk about it like that. I mean, I took the lunch that I made for you to work the other day and everyone said that it looked really good.
Don't you go bringing in the people from the office into this. Besides, you should know better than actually listen to them when they say that. They're obviously just being nice.
Are you really sure they were just trying to be nice? Because it sounded like they meant it.
And just how could you take my lunch like that anyways? Just because I said I didn't want it doesn't mean that you can have it. Man, you really know how to piss me off.
But you keep telling me all about how horrible my cooking is. I was just trying to make something new for you, but you didn't even try a bite.
Well, the way your cooking is now, the only place it should be going down is a toilet.
Okay then, if that's really how you feel about it, then I guess I'll just stop cooking.
And just why in the world would you try to do something like that? Do you expect me to starve or something?
Well, you appear to barely be able to stomach my cooking anyway, so I don't get what the difference would even be for you.
How about you try and put just a little more effort into your cooking from now on, huh? How does that sound? I mean, I know that you buy all kinds of pre-made crap that you try and feed me. What if you tried making something from scratch for once? You know there are all kinds of recipes online, right? So why don't you go find one and try that?
I will have you know that I use plenty of recipes when I cook for you.
Is that supposed to be some kind of joke or something? How could that be when your cooking tastes so awful? I mean, really, you actually expect me to believe that any kind of effort goes into your cooking when it tastes that horrible?
I don't know what you want me to even say to that. I know there are recipes online, and I follow them very closely.
Well, it sure doesn't taste like that to me. But anyways, the point is that I just can't stomach what you've made for me today. So either throw it out or eat it yourself. I really don't care as long as I have no part in it.
Dan, I don't understand why you're acting this way. Did I do something to upset you? It's like you've become so mean all of a sudden. You never used to talk to me like this, and now I feel like that's the only way you talk to me.
Well, I have had my fill of your cooking, and I'm not going to be quiet about it any longer. If you're looking for someone to blame, how about you start with yourself?
You mean that you really think this is all my fault? I don't even know what to say to that.
How could it be anyone else's fault but yours? You're the one making all this horrible cooking that's driving me crazy! Might be better if you could at least keep the rest of the house in smooth running order, but instead you try to put all the work on my shoulders.
So you're saying that the reason you're acting like this and talking to me this way is because you don't like my cooking? Even though you realize that I am doing all of the work in the house plus my job on top of that all by myself?
And just what difference is any of that supposed to make, huh? You think you're some hero just because you vacuum and do laundry?
Are you kidding me? What is the matter with you? It's not about being a hero or great or anything like that at all. All I am asking for is a little help around the house. Is that really so much?
And all I'm telling you back is that I don't have time to deal with that. Is that so hard to understand? Honestly, this whole conversation is just pissing me off.
I don't know what happened to you, Dan, but you have really changed. You're not the man I fell in love with.
I'm the same way that I've always been, thank you very much. You're the one freaking out over nothing and making this into some huge deal when it's not. Hold on a second. I think I might know what's up with you. You're about to start your period right now, aren't you?
No, Dan, I am not about to start my period. Thank you very much.
Oh, I see. Then why in the world am I having to deal with all this from you? If you don't even have your period as an excuse, then you really need to start taking responsibility for your actions.
I can't even with you anymore. This whole conversation is just going nowhere, and it's giving me a headache.
Oh man, this is so you! I really should have known that you would try to pull something like this. You can't think of anything else to say to me, so you try to spin it so that I'm the bad guy. But I think that your efforts would be much better spent finding a cooking class and taking some lessons.
And you could spend less time complaining to me about my cooking and just go and find somewhere to eat at instead. I mean, really, if you think my cooking is so horrible, then I won't ask you to eat any more of it.
You do realize that you're my wife, right? You're supposed to be dedicating your life and working hard all for my sake. I'm the husband, and I shouldn't be having a fight like this with you. You really are a pain in the butt, you know that?
And what about the work and dedication that you're supposed to be showing to me, huh? Why is it that I'm the only one doing the actual work when it comes to taking care of the house? Even when you do have free time, you just go out by yourself and leave me at home to take care of everything. Then you have the gall to complain about my cooking when I don't think you've ever set foot in the kitchen.
I just got to a restaurant, so I'm gonna stop talking to you now. I just know that keeping up this conversation is gonna ruin this dinner for me as well.
Okay, fine then. I won't text you anymore. Enjoy your meal.
Hey Emily, where the heck are you right now? Why are you in the house right now, huh?
I'm going to be home late tonight, so that's why I'm not at home.
Well, why didn't you tell me anything beforehand, huh? I should have been notified about this! You told me that you were going to be making me something really good for dinner. I got off work early just to get home so that I could see what you're going to make for me.
Oh, I did make you some food. In fact, it should be covered and sitting in the microwave for you to keep warm.
Hold on a second, what the heck is this? Is this supposed to be some kind of joke or something? What kind of dinner is this? I wouldn't feed this to a dog! What is the matter with you? Are you really telling me that I left work early and came all the way home just to be treated to this? When are you finally going to learn how to be a good wife and cook right?
Well, I'm not sure what to tell you about that one, Dan. After all, I wasn't the one who cooked that meal. Is your mom not still over at our house right now?
Wait, my mom? What does she have to do with any of this at all?
Well, I just said that she's the one who cooked the food, didn't I? I told your mom about all your complaining and how it was affecting me. So she offered to try and leave some of her cooking at home for you. After all, you're always comparing my cooking to hers. But for some reason this time, there was something off about the cooking and you said you wouldn't feed it to a dog.
Wait. I mean, well, I haven't even tried it yet. I was only talking about how the food was looking to me, you see? Don't go to leap to any conclusions!
So then you're saying that your mom's cooking looks like slop that you wouldn't even want to feed to an animal? Your mom sent me a picture of the plate that she made for you, and I thought that it looked really good, to be honest. But you must really have some tricky palate if even your own mom's cooking is putting you off. I think you might need to get that checked out.
But I mean, I really had no idea that she cooked like this. Is this a prank? Did she actually make this for me? She's not even here.
Well, I did give her the spare key to the house, so I guess it's possible that she just stepped out to go grab something.
Hold on a second. This is really, really good, actually. I just tried a bite of the food that my mom made, and this is incredible! The look might have thrown me off, but I should have known that my mom's cooking would blow yours out of the water. No contest!
Oh, really? So you're saying that it's just the look of the food that you had a problem with then? But otherwise, the food is actually really good?
Actually, you know what? On second look, I can really start to see the plating that she did, and I think it looks great too. I mean, this is it. This is really what I've been waiting for this whole time. This is the kind of cooking that you need to learn how to do, Emily.
You're just a happy fool over that plate then, aren't you? You're acting like it's one of the best things you've ever eaten.
I mean, it sure is after all the slop you've been trying to feed me. This must be how it feels to drink water after crawling in the desert for days.
I'm so glad to hear that you think that. Because the truth is that I cooked that meal that you're enjoying so much.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I don't quite understand what you mean.
I mean that your mom was the one who served it on the plate and made it look the way that it does. But anyways, thanks for leaving all this text evidence that you do like my cooking. I guess I'll head straight home now. As for your mom, I would recommend checking the guest bathroom. That's where she told me she was going to hide until I got back. And then, when I do get back home, I think that we are going to have a little family meeting.
Emily, I really am so sorry for everything. I realize that I was acting terribly towards you and it'll never happen again.
Oh, I know that you did something wrong. I've known that this whole time, in fact. But I actually never even stopped to think that you might have been cheating on me as well. Here I thought that you were working hard and late at the office every night, and that wasn't it at all.
That doesn't mean we have to get a divorce, right? We can still work this out, can't we? Please, I'm begging you!
Why? Why would I want to stay with you? Not even you wanted to stay with me. I mean, you were being so mean to me and saying all those horrible things about my efforts around the house. Did you not think that that was going to drive me to want to get a divorce from you?
But, I mean, I broke up with the other woman. We're not together at all anymore.
Oh, really? Well, that's too bad. Now you're going to have nobody to run to after the divorce.
No, don't you get it? I'm trying to tell you that I chose you over her. You're the one I want to be with, Emily!
I never once told you to break up with her, and I don't really care who you want to be with. The fact is that I don't want to be with you, and that's the only decision that really matters as far as I'm concerned.
Please, don't do this to me. Can't we just calm down and talk this out? I just don't want to lose you, Emily! I never meant for any of this to happen.
Which part, Dan? Which part didn't you want to happen? It sounds to me like the only thing that went wrong for you was that you got caught.
No, it's not that. I shouldn't have cheated on you. I shouldn't have hurt you like that. But please, please don't divorce me.
Oh, just give it a rest already. This is really just starting to get pathetic. Everything you've done has always only ever been for yourself. I asked you for help around the house and you guilted me into doing everything by myself. And this whole time, I was just working to give you time to cheat on me.
I know, and that was horrible of me, and I should have never done that. I really am sorry, and I promise to be more considerate of your feelings in the future.
Considerate of my feelings? Are you kidding me? Why do you think I care at all about what feelings you might have for me? Besides, it was your other woman who somehow got my number and told me about the whole affair. It's really a shame that you had to leave her, though. It sounds like she was already pushing for you to do so. She told me that she told you that if you didn't leave me, that she would tell me. But let me tell you now that you should have just saved us all the trouble and ran away with her. Why did you think that I'd ever want to be with you after this?
It's more complicated than that, though. She's a woman from my work, and I was just so scared that I might lose my job if anyone found out. I really just didn't know what to do at all.
So you were more worried about your job than your family? I really don't even know why I'm bothering to talk to you right now. The next time you hear from me, it's going to be through my lawyer, and it will be about the divorce. After that, the divorce proceedings for Dan and I began. I also made sure to sue him and his coworker for their affair. They were both made to pay me a nice chunk of change. During all of this, word got out to Dan's company, and the two of them were fired for carrying on their affair in the office. Broke and jobless, Dan had no choice but to beg his parents to let him live with them. While they were furious, they agreed only because of the financial debt that Dan also owed them. My only request to them was that they keep Dan as far away from me as possible. Then I blocked Dan on every medium imaginable, took the money from the divorce and the lawsuits, and moved to a new town. I ended up using the rest of the money to open up a small restaurant, and I already have several regulars who all love coming to eat my cooking. I still cook for myself all the time, and Dan's mom even reaches out every now and then to ask for recipes. As long as that keeps me on her good side, I am happy to oblige her. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.